Welcome to your weekly reading. This is Kristen with Sacred Soul Ascension. Let's get right to it. Our first card in the Suzanne Amara deck is this beautiful light geometry. And the key code words are purity, health and vitality, authenticity, abundance, discernment, and flow. I'm outside, so there's going to be some distractions. Again, the key code words are purity, health and vitality, authenticity, abundance, discernment, flow. So purity. We think of the word purity, what comes to mind for you? What comes to mind for me is like crystal clear water. Can you imagine if we had access to mineral rich, elemental rich, crystal clear water, like just if the nearby creek, river was flowing with, teeming with life? To me, that's purity. Clean air. This to me is purity, and a clean mind, clear thoughts, purity in words, clear. You know, purity and clarity seem to be going together for me in that word. What does purity mean to you? Doesn't equate to perfection for me. As far as human behavior, but a real crystalline living light is inside the word purity. Health and vitality. You know, we're moving into the spring equinox. We're going to be starting the spring this weekend. And in the northern hemisphere, I know some of you are in the southern hemisphere, the fall, but the equinox is equal day, equal night, and it's a really wonderful time to really up-level your wellness practices, your health, your vitality. This is the time here in the northern hemisphere, in the zone that I'm in, where the dandelions start to bloom, and those are, you know, liver cleansers. Dandelion root really cleans the liver. A lot of the spring growth, those like first greens that come out, are very purifying for the stagnation that accumulates in the winter. Health and vitality, okay, like really focusing on that this week as well. Authenticity, getting behind the words that you say. When we speak, does every part of our being align with what we're saying? And to really speak from that place of authenticity, of experience. Abundance, the cornucopia. Abundance for me is an overflowing heart. And to really breathe in the abundance of lung capacity to express life and to respire and perspire life. For me, that is true abundance, is the breath of life, and to be in the heart of nature and to be with the birds and the bees and the bugs as they come out from their hibernation. Everybody's so excited. These birds all around me are so excited that the temperatures are warming. This is abundance, to be in the celebration of life. Discernment, be very discerning on what you allow into your realm and what you don't, and discern what foods, what relationships, what music, what YouTube stations, what TV stations, what information, what you tune into. Be discerning about what, and up-level yourself. Up-level, continue your life education, and pursue the path of your happiness and your dream, and work on that every day, and flow, you know, just being in the river of life, being in the flow of synchronicity, and allow life to guide you as you also paddle with it. Okay. All right, let's see what our oracle. I love that card. You know, it's just they speak to me. I lay them out and see which one is resonating, and that was definitely the one. We're coming off of this Pisces new moon. If you missed that video, the Pisces new moon influences us for the whole month. So if you missed that video, it's on my YouTube channel if you're listening to this on Facebook. And K-Star Healing is my YouTube channel. So please go over there and subscribe and like the video right away. Because that really does help. I'm like, when I get a new subscriber, I'm like, oh, I got a new subscriber. I have 97 subscribers. So anytime somebody new comes on, I'm like, doing a little happy dance. I'm really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers in 2021. So if you can help me with that, that would be a great support for me to kind of advance my goals with these card readings, and also other things that I want to bring out too, not just the cards, but meditations and just more offerings for the community, because it really does bring me joy to do this. Okay, so what is the collective need to hear for this week? Okay, that was a little bit of a jumper, and hold it. Activated Earth. Look how beautiful. It's kind of all that I was saying about the birds and the bees, and to put yourself in the heart of nature, to put yourself as the witness and receiver and celebrator of life. This is what the spirit of the human can do. We have the consciousness to reflect upon itself through this myriad forms, you know, to see the spark of life within the diverse palette that is all of these different beautiful, exquisite flora and fauna. And so put yourself in it and breathe with it, and be in that union, in that harmony to heal you. Whatever is going on in your life, whether it's severe tragedy or great loss, or perhaps great celebration, the spectrum of the human experience from one week to the next is vast and wide. There's 7.8 billion of us on this planet right now. And you know, there's great gains and great losses every day. So putting yourself in the center of the elemental nature will always nourish you, will always support you, will always put you in that rhythmic connection with the circle of life. This is a temporal moment, and we're passing through only. Power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. So the earth is calling. Find a sacred spot this week and hike there. Get yourself there. Find spring water. Find a beautiful lake. Find a beautiful tree. And whatever it is you're being called to connect with, there's a reason for it. The earth is wanting to activate you in this spring equinox zone. Look how beautiful these images are. We've got a lot of crow communication happening right now. The Empress is on the bottom of the deck. So that abundance energy, that key code word for abundance is very strong here. We'll see if she wants to come out. So, drawing our cards for this week, our third week of March, we have the Three of Crystals. Cooperative learning. I'm kind of seeing some spring cleaning on this card. Cooperative leadership, cooperative learning, community, connection. There's a sense of, oh, the Empress did come out. Oh, I love that. I love that. Connection, community, some rearrangement, coming back to the drawing board, seeing what has worked in your business plan, or home organization plan, or meal plan, and changing things around. It's a seasonal shift time, so we're letting the winter season go this week, and we are moving into the spring or fall, depending on where you are. Then the Empress is opening her heart and opening her hands, opening her being to receive Mother Earth. She's an embodiment of Mother Earth, and Mother Earth runs through her as a very creative goddess energy. And from that deep connection and interconnectivity that she feels so nourished by her relationships with the beings of Earth and with the families and communities of nature, around her. And her family, her relations, are abundant. And she shares this sense of abundance with the life that she communes with. It's such a giving and receiving, a receiving and giving. She doesn't keep it for herself. She really lives to be embodied. And true embodiment is not a hoarding energy. It is an exquisite presence that allows life and creation to move through and pass through and be articulated through the particular form. And she does it in a very, exquisite way. The beauty is very much shining from the inside. It's not so much about, the surface level beauty of the appearance. It really is an inner shine that comes from the community of nature. This is Taurus. This is very embodied Earth goddess energy. And then we move into the Wheel of Fortune. I like this, from the Three of Crystals to this embodied feminine energy into the Wheel of Fortune. You kind of see the wheel and the three, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune, Fortune's wheel, spinning in your favor. This wheel is shifting because of this openness to change with that Three of Crystals, and to creative change within the structures of your life, your work, your home, your finances, your, changing things around to let go of what's stale and stagnant, kind of in that winter energy, moving in the fresh, new spring or fall energy, depending on where you are. And, even if you're coming off the summer, the summer can get a little bit sluggish too, with that heat, and those winds of change with the equinox really usher in, fresh frequencies. And really embodying the cornucopia of abundance, of life on Earth. The Wheel of Fortune coming from that place of overflow. The wheel can't help but spin in your favor, in Fortune's future, because of that sense of, well, I am full, and I invite more fullness, and fullness is never complete because the capacity just grows to bring more life in and to share more life. As I said, it doesn't get hoarded. It's just the capacity to hold more space for presence just grows and grows and grows. So Fortune's wheel, there's no limit to the abundance in which you can bring in and share out, and bring in and share out. It feels very philanthropic. It feels very generous. The energy feels very generous, that your goals are beyond the small self of the ego's attainments and gains. You're really wanting to make a community impact, or a global impact, a world impact, whether it's known or if it's just energetically felt in the collective consciousness or subconsciousness. It's not like, oh, fame, notoriety, I've arrived, I'm a shining star, look, I'm superstar. No, but it's like your light is known. Your light is recognized by the heavens, you know, and that's the real stardom. We're all stars, we're stardust, okay? You're all superstars. And then we're flying forward with the chariot. This is a phenomenal reading. We've got 3 major arcana. The chariot is just confirming what I'm saying. It's like flying forward with that yes. This is the card of Cancer. So more in the peak of you know, the culmination of the equinox into the solstice is Cancer season. So what is initiated this week with the equinox energies, you know, we have then our next window of 3 months to, you know, to spring forward. And the chariot is talking about that, like, balance that you are gaining in your seat. And, you know, this is like a bareback stride on the horse, like you're just in that flow. For the new moon reading, the dragon energy came out in the Suzanne Amara card deck. Yeah, just go check that video out, even for just the beginning, to get that code of the dragon. But, you know, this chariot kind of reminds me of that dragon too, you know, like an Avatar, when, you know, the bonding with the dragon and the tail happened, right? Or was it the hair? I think it was the tail of the Avatar being. And when they bonded, you know, and that dragon, that's like their consciousness were becoming one, and then they could shoo, shoo, shoo. There was no stopping, you know, the adventure. There was no stopping the adventure, and the incredible, you know, journey of really making a, you know, a positive impact, you know, with the life force energy in this world, right? We're tracing our life force energy through this time and space zone here. These bodies are temporary, but the energy that we, you know, it's an immortal energy. It's an immortal golden thread through time that we're weaving. And this is a very long continuum, our soul's journey. And so the 8 of crystals then talks about, we go from the 3 of crystals at the beginning to the 8 of crystals. That chariot and this fortune's wheel and the empress, it's moving you into this 8 of crystals, saying, hey, like, you are focused. You are ready for your next step in the kind of career mode, but also like just life mode. Like, you're ready for that next up-leveling training, that next up-leveling research, that next up-leveling, you know, maybe like a long video, or, you know, it's like a deep dive into, or a course. There's something that you are now ready for, taking that next step of like acquisition of information that is going to be grounded in your daily living, because it's crystals and it's very like, you know, something you're going to weave into your habit. But you're very focused and very pragmatic, and you're feeling this uptick in energy to take that next step you've been long wanting to take. And then we have the Queen of Wands on the bottom, which is a great fire energy. Okay, hello Aries season, we're coming. We're still in Pisces for another 6 days. But, you know, Aries season is coming, and it's a very beautiful, you know, time for, honing in that fire and activating that entrepreneurship. Here we have, in the Mayan Oracle, measure and the hologram, which I love. That 4 is like a divining rod, okay? And so it kind of brings me back to the activated earth energy of, you know, power places, ley lines, trust where you're led, you know, kind of be measured in your steps and like be guided. One clue after the next clue, after the next, after the next clue. Keep saying yes to the clues and following that flow of synchronicity that is being guided and shared here. And then we move into the hologram. So you're going to be piercing the veil. You're going to be seeing through the patterns of the illusions that have been, you know, smoke and mirrors, have been like weaving a web around your psyche. There's so many webs, and the web is very thick and very intricate, but there's some sort of clarity. It's like you're gonna be piercing the veil of the you know, self-perpetuated illusory paradigm that's been keeping you in an encasement, and something's gonna kind of like pop open, like, oh my gosh, I am free. I'm free. I'm free. I'm the only one holding myself back, and now's the time. I'm feeling the energy to come out with myself, and yeah, your hand is the helping hand to come out with myself and to be, you know, a generous empress. You know, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, all are, you know, the divine feminine is rising within all beings, all bodies. You know, it's that empress energy is a helping hand. You know, she really does extend herself to share what she has and wants to offer that, because that's truly what makes her feel alive, and she knows that the more she gives, the more she receives. To give more, to receive more, to give more, to receive more. And she's just this activator. She is the activated earth, you know, and she is the portal. She becomes, right, the divine feminine energy. So this is a very beautiful reading. I like the vibe for the week ahead a lot, and I wish you all a wonderful equinox, and I'll be posting a weekend equinox reading on my YouTube channel. So go over there and subscribe if you haven't already at K-Star Healing. Be sure to like the video and subscribe, and if you know anybody, you know, share it, spread the word. And I appreciate it so much. I mean, truly. And thank you for being with me on this Sunday afternoon. Much love to you.